What's up everybody and welcome to the channel. In today's video we're going to take a look at this brand new 2023 Ram 1500 Laramie, finished off in Patriot Blue. MSRP is around $71,000 before the optional lift kit, wheels, and tires that this particular spec is nicely equipped with. Big shout out and thank you to Feeney, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram for providing this new truck for today's video. Take a look at their website linked down below. Underneath the hood of the 2023 Ram 1500, you're going to find the 5.7 liter naturally aspirated 8-cylinder engine. This Hemi engine also features the e-torque system, which is a mild hybrid system. Overall, it pumps out 396 horsepower with 410 pound-feet of torque, and that power is sent through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Of course, this does have a 4-wheel drive transfer case. Curb weight is around 5,400 pounds, and it runs on a 23-gallon fuel tank, so you're looking at 17 miles per gallon in the city with 22 out on the highway. Overall length is 232.9 inches with a wheelbase at 144.5. Width is 82.1 and height is 77.6 inches. Max towing capacity is also 8,100 pounds, and then payload capacity is 1,600 pounds. Now this particular spec has a 3-inch rough country lift kit. You can see the spacers up front along with the upper control arms. Now stock ground clearance is around 8.2 inches. However, this one is going to be closer to 13 inches. Factory approach angle is around 19 degrees with breakover angle at 20 degrees, and then stock departure angle is 25 degrees. And then now moving on to the exterior styling with the 2023 Ram 1500. This one is really nice, especially with the deep blue and those bronze wheels. But we get a set of LED headlights up above. You can see a really nice design to them, and then all body color for the grille surround. We get a massive Ram name written out in the center with a huge design for all of this mesh to allow a ton of cooling into that engine. You can see a lot of body color within the front bumper. And then you can see LED fog lights down below with all of your parking sensors. You get some fake mesh down below as a nice trim design for the lower bumper, and then a small air dam down below. I think overall the Ram has a pretty good looking front end, nice and muscular looking. And then you can see how the hood kind of goes over the front end, over the headlights to give it a pretty unique design. You can see 1500 e-torque, along with that power dome design and the heat extraction vents, has a pretty muscular look up front. And then as you make our way to the side profile, you get a pretty cool set of two-tone wheels finished off in that bronze along with the gloss black. And then we get a Cooper tire that's a good all-terrain off-road tire. These wheels are 20-inch diameter, has a pretty good contrast to the blue paintwork. Then you can see Ram written out on the door, and then we get a nice set of Nerf bars on the side. You can see we have body colored door handles along with body colored mirror caps with an integrated turn signal, and then all black trim surrounding the windows. We get the panoramic roof up top as well, and being a full crew cab, this has a really good profile from the side. Really good design, and I just like this clean lines all throughout the side. It's super simple, yet it looks like a nice modern truck. And as we come in back, you can see the sport package as well with a pretty sharp line on the bedside. And I like how nicely these wheels and tires fit. We get a set of LED taillights down below. You can see the 4x4 badge, massive Ram logo along with your Laramie logo. Then you can see the backup camera right in the center underneath the handle. We get a body color rear bumper with all of your parking sensors and a nice integrated dual exhaust. Trailer hitch is in the center, and I like how we're also going to get a step in back. You can really easily pop that down to make this even more practical. And then taking a look at the key fob now, we get lock and unlock, Ram written on the back. We also can automatically pop open the tailgate, and then if I double tap the start stop button, we can turn on the V8. Just pressing that again, we can go ahead and shut it off. Keeping the key fob in my pocket, this does have the remote access. You can just grab the door handle, everything unlocks, and we can check out this interior. This Laramie is going to get a black leather interior with some white stitching and accents all throughout it. If we take a look at the door panel now, finished off in black, I like how you get white stitching up above that, some silver trim, a really dark wood type material, and then some alcantara. You can also see the memory seating with your release handle, all of your window and mirror controls, and a good grab handle with some nice padding. You can see all sorts of storage in there as well, And then all the power controls are on the left side of the seat. And I really like the materials. You can see the smooth leather with piping, a little bit of alcantara, and then all perforated leather throughout the centers. You get more of the alcantara going up the entire backrest with Laramie stitched into it. And then we get a nice looking steering wheel with black leather and silver trim. And then now inside the Ram, keep my foot on the brake, we can go ahead and fire it up. All the screens are going to turn on. We got that 12-inch screen right in the center and a small LCD screen right in the center of the gauge cluster. We got the tach on the left with engine temperature, and then your speedometer and fuel to the right side, and you can configure the center screen using this control panel. So if I start from the top, you can see a digital speedometer. You can scroll down, see vehicle information, see all sorts of different things that come up for all the vitals within this truck. So it's nice to be able to monitor all sorts of things within the vehicle. Continuing down, you can see fuel economy information. Then you also have trip info. You have start-stop information, trailer settings as well, and then audio, messages, and a few more things. If we take a look at the steering wheel now, you can see cruise control settings on the right, gear limit with your plus and minus. Then you also have a little bit of Bluetooth and audio controls, and volume and track on the back of the steering wheel. The left stalk, you can see, controls all of the windshield wipers, and then to the left of the steering wheel, we have your interior dimming, headlight controls, the pedal adjustments, as well as the parking brake. Then one of your air vents on the left side, a pretty cool design with some faux leather along with some nice stitching, more of this plastic wood looking material, a little bit of storage and a plug. And then on the far right side, you can see the Laramie logo. I like how you can press that. You can see all sorts of different space in there for your secondary glove box. And then of course you get a normal glove box down below. Now taking a look at the 12-inch screen, you got a lot of cool information along it. Up on the top, you can see our hazard control. We also have a few shortcuts up here for some climate information. You can see your heated and ventilated seats. You can sync all of that. We have this one right here. You can see a few more shortcuts. You can get a nice quick view into your backup camera. You can also zoom in and out to get a close-up of your trailer hitch and then exit out of this. You can see right now we have some audio information coming up. We have different shortcuts down below. The home icon, you can see the navigation, and you're also going to get more information down below. And of course, you can configure a lot of this screen. We have that media shortcut as well. All of your comfort and climate controls are going to pop up, and it's super easy to configure. You can see how easily I can adjust everything, change the different zones, more of those icons for the heated seats and everything. Then going into our full navigation screen, it's like a giant tablet on your vehicle. So really nice the way everything is set up. We have phone integration as well. You can see we have phone connected, and then going into settings, you can see a few more things coming up that you're able to adjust within the truck. Lastly, we have the apps icon and just a few things. Down below this, you can see we have our trailer steering. You can adjust how everything works. You have the trailer brake adjustments as well. More towing settings on the far right side with different parking sensors. You can see plugs down below with a little bit of storage. And then on this left side, we have our gear selector right in the center, all your four-wheel drive controls, engine start stop, and you get a ton of storage space down below. You can lock your phone into this area for wireless phone charging. You can see more storage down here, and you can push this back and pull it forward to reveal even more hidden storage space. Then you can see the Ram logo with more of the leather and stitching along this armrest. There's an upper lever you can pull, and you got a nice little bit of storage space in here with a USB plug, and then grabbing the one underneath that, it opens up and we get even more storage down below. We get a few measurements and things like that on the underside if you're going to use this as a work truck. Cool little touch to see. And then just one last look at the interior. Nicely appointed being a Laramie. I think it's really nicely done, especially for this price point. It better be a pretty nice truck to be in. Up above, you can see a black headliner with a massive sunshade for the panoramic roof. You get a lot of your dome light controls along with all the roof controls as well. Then we get a sunglass holder up in front of that, and then a nice mirror with garage door openers up above. And then moving on to the rear seat space, if I grab the door and open it up, door panel's finished off just like we saw up front with all the same materials. And then you can see all the same seating surfaces with the nice piping, the alcantara, and then the cool perforated design all throughout the center. This can seat 3 people back here. Then you can open this up. We get a little bit of storage with these cup holders along with an armrest, and then in the ceiling there's even some speakers and then some more things. We got storage on the back side of both of these seats, along with several different USB ports, air vents, and storage, and then you got 2 cup holders up in front. You can also see your grab handles up on the B pillar, and then if you grab the bases of these seats, we have even more storage. So pulling this up, you can see what we got going on a lot of space under here all throughout underneath these seats. So it really does become a super practical truck. So I'm hopping into the back seat now with this Laramie. So at 5'11", I'm sitting back here really nice and comfortably. You got plenty of headroom, and then the sunroof up top, the panoramic roof, really lets in a lot of light. You have a huge piece of glass around you, and just feels like a nice open truck. Good room, huge amounts of knee room and leg room, even with the driver's seat set at my height. Of course, armrests are in a pretty good spot. While the seats don't recline at all, they're in a pretty good angle to where, honestly, you can be pretty comfortable back here. And then moving on to the bed space and tailgate, if I can just grab this button back here, it's gonna soft open. We get a pretty nice plastic bed liner throughout this bed, and then you can also see the bed cover itself. We can pull these latches, and this is one of the ones that's just gonna roll up with all the Velcro. And with that opened up nicely, you can see you got a few spots in each corner just for a nice tow hook, and it's a pretty simple bed layout. From here, it doesn't really weigh too much. We can just grab it and close it. All right guys, so we are setting off now in the Ram 1500. So I'm a big fan of the V8 with the e-torque, the mild hybrid system, because honestly it gives you a really smooth power delivery. It's not a crazy like hybrid system like a 4xe or something from the Jeep name, but it's nice and peppy and really smooth. Just giving it a little bit of gas. Transmission does a good job just shifting through gears and giving you just one of the best power plants. I think this V8 is probably my favorite if you're gonna look at the non-supercharged V8s from all the other brands. As far as normal driving, this lift kit, wheels and tires is really comfortable, and it feels honestly just like a stock truck. Doesn't feel too harsh. The tires, I honestly can't even hear them. It's just a normal truck to drive. However, you got about maybe 5 inches more than the standard truck. So pretty good kit that this one's got on it. Some normal driving things like visibility. I mean, you have a huge windshield as you would expect. And I love how you can see the hood, the whole power dome and everything. It just gives it a pretty aggressive vibe when you're driving in this truck. Mirrors all do a good job as well, letting you know what's going on. And then, like any pickup truck, you got really good visibility, and I like how those headrests in the back can be folded down if needed. So it's a pretty nice normal vehicle to be in. The tech works really good as well. It's easy to use. I do like this screen and this orientation. I think it's pretty neat. Not everyone may like it. You know, some people might like the normal traditional size screens that are going the other orientation. However, you got all the information that you need. I guess the only downfall with that is being this configuration. You know, your backup camera is only going to be half of your screen, and half the time your nav is only half the screen. But I like how it kind of gives you what you need, and honestly, once you get used to it, you get used to it. It's a pretty nice layout. Center screen right here, you don't really have all too much digital information. You do get a small screen in the center. This one's more of a mid-level truck. I believe it's a B package or something like that. So you got a good amount of information in it, good amount of tech. And the fit and finish, I think, is what you're going to be getting in a Ram over the competition. I feel like there is just that little extra touch in here to where it feels nice. It just feels like a nice place to be. No cut corners, no loose ends. It just feels more of a luxury truck that has some refinements to it. And I definitely like it with the lift kit and everything. I mean, it feels like a pretty big truck overall, and yet it's still pretty easy and normal to drive as you would expect. All right, so turning the cameras around to me, my honest thoughts of the Ram 1500. Honestly, I'm liking them more and more. I think they really are just a nice truck. And to be honest, all three of the major brands, you know, Ford, Chevy, Dodge, they're all pumping out really good trucks right now. So I don't think you can go wrong with any brand. I feel like Ford was kind of the king for quite a while, and then Ram comes along, updates their interior, and now Ram is on top, and the new GMs, quite honestly, are just as nice. So I honestly think it's just personal preference, whichever one you like the most. I feel like I like certain aspects of each brand to where I wish I could just piece a truck together. But my favorite aspect with the Ram truck is definitely drivetrain. I think the engine and transmission are by far the best. This Hemi V8, you get so much power, the e-torque system with that mild hybrid electric power and stuff like that. It just gives you that sweet spot for a naturally aspirated V8 where it doesn't just feel slow in the bottom end, and it doesn't just ring it out all the time in the top end. It gives you that extra bump in electric power that makes this feel really, really smooth. The 8-speed as well. I don't like 10 speeds. I think that's too much. I think the 8-speed is fantastic. And this one does feel just really solid. So I think Ram, if you just want a nice truck where every time you hop in it, you kind of have that thought of, this is a nice truck, the Ram's the way to go. It is up there, especially a Laramie, very nicely done. It just feels good. Everything you touch, it kind of feels heavy, feels like there's good attention to detail, good fit and finish, and it feels like a nice place to be. Not saying that the General Motors trucks aren't good either. I'm a huge fan of a High Country or a Denali. I think those are just as nice, quite honestly, but this drivetrain by far I think is the best. With that said, interior tech, personal preference, how you like to use things, and then the overall looks, again, personal preference. I think the Rams look great. This one lifted, I think, looks really great, especially with the wheels, the color combination. I think it's a really cool spec, and I don't think you can go wrong. You get all the capabilities you need from a truck. You can do truck things in a Ram, and you're not sacrificing anything just to have a luxury truck. Now the price point. This one, before you add in the dealer installed lift kit, all that stuff, you know, this is a $70,000+ truck. That's a pretty good chunk of change. I mean, that's how much I spent on my GTR, which is a supercar performing car, and this is a truck. You know, this is a truck you're going to be using and beating up a little bit. Trucks are getting expensive. I mean, a truck like this is 70 grand. If you look at all the other brands, this is what they're going for. If you don't want to pay this, get something that is a cheaper version. They still make the base model Rams for a lot less than this. I think into the 40s, low 40s, you can still get a brand new truck that is a full-size vehicle. So you don't have to get these fully loaded ones. It just seems like a lot of people want this type of truck. To be honest, if I was going to buy a truck, probably I'd be stuck around this price range too, because I would want all the luxuries. And a lot of people who buy these trucks, they use them for everything. And when you really think about the use of a vehicle like this, it's actually a pretty good deal, because this is a family daily driver. It's luxurious enough to have the kids in the back and your family just doing family things. It is a workhorse. You can tow things, haul things. It is a work truck. Maybe you're a contractor and you need to take this on a job site to where you need the four-wheel drive, you need the capabilities. You know, a truck like this can do it all. And I know a lot of people who own trucks just like this, and they do everything in it, from the family stuff to the utility to the work. And, you know, if you want a truck that can do it all, you got to pay the big bucks to get something to do every single thing really well. So there's a market for it, clearly. That's why they are selling these at these prices, and people are willing to pay for them because these trucks can do so much. With that said, that is it then for the 2023 Ram 1500. Nice truck to be in. I like the lift kit. It's just that perfect setup to where it doesn't feel too big, doesn't feel over the road, and it just feels like a nice place to be, and it's a pretty cool truck. I think Ram is doing something good, making a pretty nice product these days. So definitely put Ram on your list. If you guys enjoyed today's video, give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned for plenty more content to come. And then a big shout out and thank you to Feeney, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram for providing this truck for today's video. Take a look at their website linked below, and I'll see you all in the next video.